Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you guys my Regalia deck profile for October 2016. This was one of the main decks I worked on for Absolute Judgment when it was released, and it's a really fun deck. It's probably turning into my favorite Genesis deck at the moment, just because there are a lot of cool combos you can get off with your Stride and your new units, along with the backup Regalia support that you run, so I thought I'd bring you guys the deck profile. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I don't have a complete Stride Zone at the moment. I still need to get Vanaganders for this deck, but I do have the 4 Earths. This card is basically counter +1, choose a face down Earth from your G Zone, and turn it face up. When this unit is placed on Van, if you have a heart with Regalia, you put all of your cards with Regalia and its card name from your drop zone into your soul, and then if the number of face-up cards with Regalia and its card name in your G zone is 2 or more, until the end of the turn this unit gets Act Soul Blast 6, this unit gets plus 10,000 and a crit until the end of the turn. The best thing about this is it lets you make full use of your drop zone with Regalia units, putting them all into the soul, and the Soul Blast 6 plus 10,000 and a crit is not once per turn, so you can hit really big numbers, and if your opponent doesn't have a perfect guard in their hand, this could be essentially game for you pressure wise, because even multiple G Guardians can't reach some of the numbers that I've made with this unit. And I also run one Meteor. This unit is Regalia, and I use it basically so I always have 2 face up for my Earths. So I stride to this unit first, and with its Soul Charge 3 on flip effect, make full use of Soul build up along with what I stated earlier about having 2 face up Regalia units. Would run 2 Doom Brace if I had it. It's just good generic power boost for the deck with Soul Blast power and Soul Charge power. You can make use of your starter that I use, which we'll get to also. Just good generic card to use. And for the G Guardians, I have 3 Hanatsuki and 1 Iris for now. I might go 2 and 2, just because Iris helps with the soul build-up power, which Earth helps with it, but if you need to use something like Yggdrasil next turn or something like that, this comes in more handy than this. But Hanatsuki is always easy to get off when your soul is big. Just remember to leave something in your soul that you have on your field for that 10 plus power. And now for the main deck, I run 4 Verthandi. She is your first main grade 3. When you stride a Regalia unit over her, she gets the effect that you can choose up to 3 units with Regalia in your front row, and they get plus 1,000. So every time a card's put into the soul, it's a continuous effect. You'll always get this off, especially when you make full use of Earth by putting all the units with Regalia into your soul, boosting up your front row if they're all Regalia. And the other effect is once per turn you can Soul Blast 3 cards with Regalia and its card name to choose up to 3 units in the front row, and they get the effect when they hit. You can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand, and put the other into the soul. It's not a GB2 either, so if you ride this first as grade 3, maybe get like Tamara on the rear guard, put some cards in your drop zone, put another Regalia unit. That's full on pressure with this unit. If your opponent's already a grade 2, they'll have to wipe out their hand, otherwise you'll be setting up your soul and hand with this unit. And I also run 4 CEO Yggdrasil. I just find this card better than Minerva at the moment, because Minerva is a restander, but her power boost can be a little weak. It is an easy one to get off, but Yggdrasil has the extra critical with no grade 1s or higher boost, and when comboed with Noren, you can hit really, really big numbers with this unit, and she's usually your go-to card for game if your opponent doesn't have anything to use like G Guardians to stop this attack. And for grade 2s, I run 4 Noren. She's the mate for Yggdrasil, and she also has the effect when she's put into the drop zone from Soul, choose a Vanguard with Regalia, and it gets plus 5,000. So this will include Earth or Yggdrasil, whatever you Soul Blast for. And with Earth's effect to put back into the Soul, you can always make full use of her. So if you get 4 of these in the Soul, you can Soul Blast them for plus 20k, then next turn put them back into the Soul to reuse with Earth if you need to. And I also run 4 Tamara. She is the card when it's placed on rear. You choose up to 3 cards with Regalia in your drop zone, and then put them into your soul. So soul build up, she's good for that first turn for Verthandi play that I spoke of earlier. Just also, if you call her after you soul blast with Earth, you can also build up for more soul blasting with that effect. And I also run 3 Gluttony. It's a non-Regalia unit, but I find Gluttony helps with draw power consistency, soul charging. It don't get the power boost from Earth in the front row, but an essential draw effect is good with this guy, and soul blast, soul charging 3 as well. And for grade 1s, I run 4 Scold. This is the new Regalia unit, in which at the end phase you can choose 3 normal Regalia units from your drop zone, put them on the bottom of your deck, and then draw a card and soul charge 1. So if you have 3 of these on your field when you do this, if you have 9 normal units in your drop zone, you'll be drawing 3 cards and soul charging 3. So, and it'll keep you also from decking out. You could put back your Grossel, so you could draw it later for Legioning. A lot of cool things you can do with this card. And I also run 4 Pure Angel. She helps with draw power pressure on your Vanguard. You counterblast 1 and your Vanguard gets plus 5,000, and the effect when it hits, you can Soul Blast 3 to draw a card. So with pressure like Earth or Yggdrasil, you'll be sure to have more reasons for your opponent to want to guard your Vanguard attack. Plus, I also run 2 Shiny Angel. She is the grade 1 version of Chimera. Only 2 of her, just because Chimera usually covers that effect. And just good filler also for that Soul Charge building, especially if I need a booster to call to rear with this unit. And I don't want to call like a Chimera behind this, just to get that Soul Charging power. She'll help in that situation. And I also run 4 Hell. It's the unflip PG. I like this better than the Quintet Wall just because, yeah, it's a non-Regalia unit, so you have to watch with that, but you do counterblast a lot with this deck, so she helps in those situations. And for grade 0s, I will run 1 Lading. I run this just so I can get some field consistency with my Soul. When I know I'm going to Soul Blast for Earth, I put this into the Soul, and I have a lot to choose from the Soul Blasting 6. And a lot of the Soul Blast effects, including Earth's Soul Blast 6, aren't Regalia specific, so he won't interfere with that. And for triggers, I run 8 crit, so 4 of the Regalia crit, and 4 Kukurahime, because she's the into the soul +3 for easy soul build from the hand. I run 4 Lot Angels for the draw triggers. When you guard with it, you soul charge 1. So once again, also early turn, early game soul charging. If you have this in your hand and your opponent attacks, he'll be in the drop zone, and you'll also be able to build up your soul for Verthandi. And for Ear, the Regalia heal to finish up the deck. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.